The Kapow Radio Show Network produces high-quality podcasts that you definitely want to hear. So stick around and get prepared to stimulate your spirit.
Lord, Lord, now can't you see? Trouble and evil are surrounding me. Death and pain for the wicked world's fate, but the righteous and just shall live by the faith.
Hello, Miss Kapow. It's Freedom Friday on Friday.
Yes, it is. And it's March 4th. Can you believe it?
Is it a Friday?
2016. Yep.
That's why we're doing Freedom Friday on a Friday?
Yep.
That's weird.
Because my shirt does not say Freedom Thursday.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's deep.
Yeah.
That is deep. We got a lot to talk about today. We always have a lot to talk about.
You have a lot to talk about.
I have a lot to talk about. So much going on. It's so hard to pick and choose. I mean, you could just do entire shows just talking about the political mess going on.
Yeah.
I mean, entire, just 4-hour shows on nonsense. Mm-hmm. Incredible. Anyway, have to pick and choose. I think I want to entitle this episode Techno Sex. Techno Sex.
Okay.
Well, here's why. There's like 4 stories in the beginning that I found interesting in regard to reproduction, sexsomnia.
Oof, yeah.
That's so stupid. It's actually sexsomnia, having sex while you sleep. And then there's an epidemic of syphilis. We'll talk about that. It's kind of like techno sex. All this, because that epidemic is being blamed on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Then we'll get into some other really crazy behavior. You know, kids killing their whole families because they didn't want to go to school. Nannies beheading little children.
Yeah, my sister and I didn't want to go to school, but we didn't think of that.
No. And then I'll play a clip about these kids who tried to poison their teacher.
Oh.
And then we'll talk about some weird mystery booms. More stuff.
Sounds
More
like
booms.
a good lineup.
It does sound like a good lineup. Once again, why do we talk about all this negative stuff? To show people that we are living in perilous times.
Perilous,
really,
for sure.
No matter how you look at it, no matter what your ideology may be, it's hard to deny that we are living in some very weird times with a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah, it's dark for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's very dark. Where that ends, what that means, it's beyond my pay grade. I don't know. I just know what it is.
You just report the news, Jerry.
Yep, I report the Fifth Hook Media. Why don't you give a scripture, and then we'll go on with it.
Okay. Psalm 58. It saith, Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken, so the voice of charmers charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bends his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melts, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, Verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judges in the earth.
Wow, what book were you reading out of?
Psalms. The Bible.
The Bible?
Yeah.
It's so violent.
I know.
It's so violent. I thought God was all about love. You're talking this Bible thing is talking about breaking teeth and thorns and
That's right.
all this judgment. What? I thought it was all about love, man.
God is love, but that also includes being just and righteous and holy.
Wow. It almost sounds like you make sense.
I hope so.
That's crazy. Well, the Beatles said all you need is love. I don't know why we don't just do that. You know what I mean? It's a wicked world, and all you need is love. It's worked since the 1960s.
Not according to the Lord God.
Mm-mm. All right. First up story, Miss Kapow.
What is it? What is it?
Artificial sperm made in the laboratory.
Alrighty then.
I could picture a bunch of women, scientists, all gathered around going, we need to cut out the men.
Yeah.
We need to have babies without men. I don't know if they're female.
Well, I remember a lot of women used to say stuff like that. You know, like in the when they were burning bras and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would say, we don't need men.
Mm-mm.
You know?
So they want to have babies. You don't need men.
Feminists.
So you can inject artificial sperm and do it that way. You can imagine what kind of creature you might be creating.
Yeah.
So this is our friends from Chinese. Our good friend Chinese. Say scientists claim they can create babies without men. How do they do that? Injecting eggs with artificial sperm. But there's more to it, Ms. Kapow.
Oh, of course there is.
It's a new discovery by the Chinese. The scientists have claimed they have found a way for women to have babies without men by creating artificial sperm. The team from China claimed they have created healthy mouse babies. Mouse babies. By injecting laboratory-made sperm into eggs to produce mouse offspring.
Wow.
So far, so good. The scientists claim their stem cell technique could pave the way for new treatments for male fertility. And here's how it's being sold. It's male fertility problem, so we're just going to create the sperm.
Sure.
British experts have called for the results to be independently verified and pointed out that any practical application is likely to be a long way off. The mouse cells produced were technically spermatids. Can everybody say spermatids?
Spermatoids.
That's close enough. A spermatid or spermatoid is undeveloped sperm that lack tails and cannot swim. Gosh, that sounds like the Democrats and the Republicans here in America. It sounds just like you notice I added the Republicans to that? You notice that? Because they're really irritating.
They're nasty.
What a bunch of stupid men that are worshiping and falling down to their god, their idol, the party. Mm-hmm. Forget the rest of society. Forget the good of mankind, why you're there in the first place, that you were elected. You only care about your God, your party, that you bow down. It's just as much as religion as any other religion out there. Don't fool yourself. Democrats, Republicans, the hardliners are worshiping another God. That's their religion.
That's right.
How did I get like that from spermatoids? Because undeveloped sperm that lack tails and cannot swim remind me of politicians. Okay. Yet, when the spermatids were injected into mouse eggs, mimicking a common IVF technique called intraclytoplastic sperm injection.
Try saying that a couple of times.
ICA. They delivered viable embryos and healthy fertile babies. Well, in the UK, using spermatids this way is illegal. It's illegal, Ms. Kapow. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Jiaho Shah from Nanxing Medical University, who co-led the research, published the results in the peer-reviewed journal Cell Stem Cell. Mm-hmm. I kid you not. That's what it's called. He said, if proven to be safe and effective in humans, Our platform could potentially generate fully functional sperm for artificial insemination or in vitro fertilization technique. Because currently available treatments do not work for many couples, we hope that our approach could substantially improve success rates for male infertility. You know what makes me mad about that? They can do all this.
You sound like a character on South Park.
I do? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the guy go, Mongolian beef.
There you go.
Yeah. Crazy Mongolian. What makes me mad about this, speaking of Mongolian beef, is that the Chinese scientists can do this with mouse eggs, but they can't take the MSG out of Chinese food. Why?
Because they're not important.
We can send a man to the moon, but we can't create a garden hose that don't kink. Why? Why, Miss Crow?
It's not important.
Okay. Anyway, scientists begin with stem cells taken from mouse embryos, which are exposed to carefully mixed cocktail of chemicals. That's what your baby's that's where your baby's coming from. A mixed cocktail of chemicals. Then,
see, that can't be good.
I can't see it. This triggered their transformation into primordial germ cells, which is the first step on the developmental path to becoming sperm. Next, this is key. The germ cells were exposed to testicular cells and testosterone in an attempt to mimic the natural environment of the testes. When the resulting spermatids were injected into mouse eggs, they proved capable of producing embryos that developed normally.
Wow. So
a mixture of chemicals, testosterone, throwing it into whatever they do, a big soup, a big testicle soup. So they're hoping to do this with humans. Yeah, because infertility affects about 15% of couples. It can be traced to the man in about 1/3 of the cases. So this is why we need this stuff. So anyway, the British doctors are commending them and saying this is great.
Of course they
however,
are.
we have to wait to see, how we can apply this. But they say this is a big breakthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Big breakthrough. It says, in spite of these encouraging results, we are still some way off from immediately applying this technique as a potential cure for human male infertility. That's what the British are saying. It says it remains to be seen if this technique could be applied in humans to create sperm-like cells that might be usable in IVF. Well, it looks like they're starting somewhere. They're on their way.
Yep.
So can you imagine what that kid is like? I asked the question on Facebook, what's going to animate these spirits, right? If you make
that's right
an artificial sperm and you mix it with a female egg, what gives it the animating force?
Some demon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, even there's an article that says IVF children could develop serious health problems later on in life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard that.
Yep.
Wow.
I kid you not.
All right. Well, we were going to talk about the Pentagon's brain modem, but I lost that article. But what I do know is that DARPA, that was formed, about 4 years ago? It's that black ops type of division of the Pentagon.
Yes.
They do all that special... Darth Vader, but it's DARPA. But it's close. Well, they have developed what they call a stentrobe. A stentrobe. And it's like the size of a paperclip, but it has like electronics in it. Mm-hmm. And it goes up through a catheter. Can you imagine that? Into your bloodstream.
And then it attaches to your brain somewhere.
Somewhere. It goes in there and then they
hopefully
they tell it to expand, yeah. And it clings onto a blood vessel and it receives all this data from your brain and relays it out. Strange. Of course, they've done animal experiments with this and stuff, and they're waiting to do it in humans. Well, because DARPA is part of the Pentagon, because they're part of that, they have a large base of young people to test this on.
Ooh.
And so what they're trying to do is this thing, they're trying to get the brain to be used as a modem to operate external devices. By
So
just
basically, it's
thinking
a
of it.
weapons
Yes.
type of thing.
Yes, by just thinking about it. They want a soldier to be able to fly a drone or to do these things by just with his mind.
Mind, yeah.
Yes. So this is a little step that they have, and they've created this stentrobe, is what they call it, that actually goes into your bloodstream and connects with your brain and then downloads all this stuff. Yeah.
It's like they want to make a person a computer.
Exactly. I mean, as you can see, it's going crazy. What does this have to do with Techno Sex? I don't know. But if the military could put it together and they can control stuff with the brain, you can imagine what the pervs would do with something like this. Mm-hmm. Kind of strange. Anyway, I lost the article, but that's basically what it is.
Yes.
Kind of scary
Very
stuff.
good. It is scary.
All right. Have you heard of Sexsomnia?
No. Well, I
neither.
have heard of it because I read it.
You read the article. That's the first time you heard of it. Well, these are people that have sex in their sleep, but they don't remember it.
So in other words, it's not like they're dreaming about sex, but they're actually performing the sexual act while sleeping.
Yeah, on themselves or with somebody else.
Or something else.
Or something else, but they're asleep. Yeah, this is totally demonic
Sick.
behavior. Yeah, well, this is Nephi. This is sex perversion, demonic behavior.
Very much so.
This is articles from Great Neck, New York. For some people, sleep is anything but restful. Sleep disorders include walking, talking, and even eating without realizing it. I think that's my problem. Because I should be like super thin with no body fat and really with muscles. But I think what's happening in the middle of the night, I'm getting up and I'm fixing myself a cheeseburger.
And then you're not even sharing it with me. That's
I don't
not
share it with you. Well, I'm asleep. How can I share it with you when I'm asleep? It's not my fault.
Yeah, that's not right.
And then if I did share it with you, then you'd accuse me of
And I would tell your trainer.
eating on me. And here's what's amazing about me is I clean up my mess. So when I wake up in the morning, there's no evidence.
That doesn't surprise me.
But the only evidence is in my poochie belly. Oh, it has to be. There's no other reason.
I think it's air.
It couldn't be my age. It could be climate change, too. Okay, so let's add sex to that list of weird sleep disorders.
All right.
All right? CBS reported patients are now being diagnosed.
See, so it's an illness.
It's an
a
illness.
disease.
They're being diagnosed with sexsomnia. They go through a sleep study where doctors chart and prove they are truly asleep while engaging in sex acts. Alone or with
Can you
others.
imagine the doctors actually have to watch this person do this kind of stuff?
Yeah, they put monitors on them to sit there and watch them. They go, woo, what is he doing? And here's what's embarrassing. The patients have no recollection of it
So they're going, what?
Yeah, what I do? I was just sleeping. That is crazy.
It's nasty.
This is your subconscious level, and it's just wide open there.
Mm-hmm.
And these people have no protection.
None.
For whatever they're doing in their real life or whatever. And his demonic influences are coming in their sleep and just, wow. Now, one woman said, if your partner is sleeping and they're not aware of it, that's not okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, because you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Sexsomnia is rare, and doctors say more men have it than women. Oh, what a surprise. Why does that shock me? Can you imagine that? Calling the police. My wife was, jumping on me in the middle of the night, and I wasn't aware.
They'd arrest you just for being stupid.
Yeah. Throw you in jail. Are you serious? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, men have it more than women. I got to imagine that. Dr. Saul Rothenberg is a sleep specialist with Northwell Health. He said, and it has to be true because he's a doctor, he said sexsomnia falls in the same category of parasomias as sleepwalking and sleep talking. You see, it's just a disorder. Mm-hmm. See, normally you're either asleep or awake or in parasomnias, including sex. You would have an incomplete awakening.
Ooh.
That's what he explained. So you're stuck in sleep, but you start doing things that are normally restricted to waking. Wow. Now, here's why this is disturbing, Ms. Kapow. Here's the crux of the story. Sexsomnia was used as a defense in 2, mind you, high-profile rape cases overseas.
Well, see, and that'll mean that they're going to use that defense
Exactly.
for these other perverts.
The juries in both cases bought the argument. Here's what it is.
That is so stupid.
Well, you can't do. The devil made me do it. So now I was asleep, and then you have to go through a couple of studies that they verify you're asleep, and yeah, he twitches around, but you probably did have sexsomnia.
Wow.
The cases were a man in England in 2007 who was acquitted of raping a girl. Acquitted of raping a girl.
Wow.
And a man in Denmark in 2013 who was acquitted of molesting 2 girls.
Wow.
Because they had
Nice, huh?
sexsomnia and had no recollection of what they were doing.
And these juries decided that it was okay. That defense actually was...
It's not the behavior or the action they did. It's that they don't remember doing it. So that it's okay. The rape victim advocates worry more criminals will try to use it as a defense.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Here's what they
Shame
suggest.
on those attorneys, too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
This is as ridiculous as the Twinkie defense,
Yeah,
years ago.
exactly.
The guy ate too many Twinkies, and that's why he went off and killed somebody.
Wow.
Here's the deal. There's no cure for sexsomnia. There's nothing you can do. But here's some good suggestions from the doctors. You might want to write these down, Mr. Doc, because these are very important. They suggest minimizing or avoiding these potential triggers. Guess what? Stress. Stress could make you wake. I mean, stress could just make you want to have sex in the middle of the night while you're asleep. Sleep deprivation. So you don't get enough sleep, so then when you go to sleep, you do crazy things. Sleeping pills. There you go. And excessive alcohol and drug use.
Oh, there you go.
I think that would probably pay more of a, that'd be more likely to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, in some cases, the solution is separate beds and even separate rooms.
Oh, how about a separate house?
I think if your partner has sexsomnia, you might want to get a padlock on your door. You know what? Have the garden hose ready.
I have a lot more than ready.
So when it comes in, oh, look at you, Miss Pistol Packer. Can you imagine if animals suffered from sexsomnia?
Yeah, you don't hear that.
No, I mean, can you imagine just getting attacked by a sleeping panda bear or something?
Oh.
Oh, no. It'd be scary. Hey, Miss Kapow. Now, you live in Clark County, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada is in Clark County. We're all one big happy family.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yep.
You know the commercials that say, what goes on in Las Vegas
Stays in Vegas.
stays in Vegas?
Yes.
Right? Well, apparently that's not true when it comes to syphilis.
Oh.
But it gets better. It gets deeper. Syphilis sparks concern in Las Vegas.
No kidding.
Okay, they call it Sin City, right? A lot of stuff going on in Vegas, a lot of things. Now, prostitution is not legal in Clark County. Some tourists think that it is, and it's not. I'm sure you can get it anywhere, but
Yeah.
it's
but
not legal.
Talked about,
Yeah,
like
Clark County. The syphilis isn't coming from female prostitutes. The syphilis is coming and affecting the gay male community.
No. Tell me that isn't so.
And do you think that the gay men that are having gay sex that are getting, infected like crazy with syphilis, it's way off the charts. Do you think they're getting this disease because of their lifestyle?
Yeah.
You do. Well, according to this article, you're wrong.
Oh.
They're getting this disease because of social media.
Really?
It's social. Yes, the social media.
Because now they have a lot more networking.
Tinder. I think there's one app called Atom to Atom. I swear, I don't make that up.
Yes, yeah. I do remember that.
Atom to Atom, Tinder, all these sites. So what they're saying is these guys are meeting each other with an app. Yeah, instead of face-to-face. And so it's breaking down the barriers to use a condom.
Wow.
Whereas if you met somebody face-to-face, you might go, okay, I like this dude, but he's a little ugly, he's a little hairy. I think I'm going to use a condom. But on the Tinder app, you're just like, blah, let's go for it. Blah. Let's meet in a restroom and do gay things. And they're not using a condom.
They don't really need to see each other's faces, really.
Wow. Yeah. I got to live the rest of the day. Now that's in my brain. Nevada is experiencing the highest rate of syphilis in the West. In the West, following the outbreak in Las Vegas. Now, health officials say it's part of a national spike. A national spike in cases tied to increased testing, a rise in anonymous sex tied to social media, and a less consistent use of condoms. That's what's causing it. Social media's link to syphilis in the gay community has prompted health officials to take their educational outreach directly to the websites and to the apps. In some cases, creating profiles or buying advertisements. That's going to help.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously that is not going to work.
Because you're some gay guy wanting gay sex, and you're sitting in Caesar Palace, and you break up your app, and you go, where's another gay guy within 500 yards? They can have sex with me in Caesar Palace. And he does that, but then he goes, oh, wait, there's an advertisement on here that says, stop syphilis now. Don't be stupid. Wear condoms. Like, oh, thank you. I'm glad you reminded me. Because I was just about to have unprotected gay sex in the Caesar Palace bathroom.
These things are not going to prevent them from doing that. When that lust and that craving is there.
Yeah, why don't we just tell them that this lifestyle is very risky, it's very dangerous, and it's going to kill you.
They used to.
They used to back in the day before it was
but
legal
not anymore.
and Code 4 to do it.
Because it's just not politically correct.
No. Well, here's a closer look at what's going on. Do you want to know a closer look at what's going on?
Yes, I
do. You do? Do you
I
care about this?
I do.
Okay. You know that syphilis is a sexually transmitted disease. You know that, right? It's been around since the Romans, right?
Yep.
And it's never really gone away, and it comes in waves, all right? And it's usually detected through testing. It is, it could be fatal. If untreated, it could lead to serious health complications.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep. Late stage syphilis includes messing up with your muscles, numbness, paralysis, blindness, dementia. Once again, it sounds like the politicians.
That's what's wrong with them. They're all diseased.
In late stages, it can kill your internal organs, and you can die. So what is going on? What is going on in Nevada? What? You live here, you should know this. Clark County health officials declared an outbreak in Las Vegas just last week, after noting a 128% increase.
That's high.
Yes. How can you be over 100?
Really high.
128% increase in reported syphilis cases since 2012. With 615 of the 694 cases involving men diagnosed in 2015.
Well, that speaks volumes, does it not?
They're mostly men. It makes Nevada's rate of syphilis the highest in the West. And there's uptick in other parts of Nevada, too. Not here in Mesquite, obviously. But that would be tied to a population increase, the department said. Nevadan youth, meanwhile, have a good time having sex at younger ages and are using condoms inconsistently or improperly. I don't think it's the young people. I think it's the gay guys.
Older men.
615 out of 694 were men.
Yeah. Nasty.
They're just spreading among each other.
Keep it in-house. Keep it in-house.
Keep it in-house. Why?
You see, what's bad is that these men that are bisexual.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then they transfer it to
A female.
female or your wife
Yeah.
or whatever. That's what's
Scary.
well. That's what's annoying. Keep it within your own little
Gay
group.
world. Right? Don't bring your gay sexsomnia
Exactly.
in my house, man. Keep your gay sexsomnia, syphilis-ridden,
That's right.
ugly face out of my bedroom, man.
That's right. Amen, brother.
Why are doctors blaming social media, Mr. Powell? Why?
Why are they?
Well, health providers and officials have warned publicly about the prevalence of anonymous sex through social media, particularly with the increase in the use of smartphone apps. Elizabeth Adelman, you know her? She's a senior disease investigator. You should know her. The health department here in Las Vegas, we should know her. She said young people dependent on their iPhones can find quick, easy access to hookups. Not meeting in person first can make it harder to negotiate condom use, she said. I don't know how can you meet a stranger on an app and then go have sex and then have a problem to negotiate?
I know.
You're a total stranger that you're doing the most intimate thing with, and you're going, I hate to bring this up, but I don't want to die, and maybe. So you know how they're going to address it?
How?
Las Vegas officials have been working to connect with various websites and apps. Adelman said they sought permission for a passive, by the way, presence on platforms such as the gay website Adam for Adam.
Oh, for the love of pizza.
Adam for Adam. So why do they got to name it Adam for
I know.
Adam? Why do they got to use Adam? Huh?
Those reptiles.
I know. So users can reach out for information. Other popular apps officials are looking into include Tinder and Grindr.
Jiminy crickets.
Adam for Adam said through its Twitter, it offers live health counselors and tips on its website. Yeah, tips.
Yeah.
Don't do the lifestyle and you won't get sick.
I don't think those are the tips they're talking about.
I don't think so. How is the LGBT community responding?
How?
The Gay and Lesbian Community Center of Southern Nevada said the issue has been on its radar as a majority of the latest syphilis cases have involved men having sex with men. And you know what they're going to do about it? Educational outreach.
Oh, of course.
But they're not going to tell them to not do that lifestyle. They're going to do educational outreach, destigmatizing efforts, and a push for testing are priorities. So, that's what they're going to do. They're going to destigmatize syphilis and say, go get tested,
That's
but
a
continue
good
your lifestyle.
plan.
Have a good time. Isn't that a great plan?
That's a great plan.
Can I get syphilis from a toilet seat?
I don't think so.
I'm still not going to use a toilet seat.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
Nope.
I'm just going to go in a parking lot. I live in Clark County. I'm scared there's a syphilis outbreak. I'm sorry, sir. Officer, I'm sorry, but have you heard about the syphilis outbreak?
Yeah, I know. Nasty.
He's going to go, why are you pooping on the pavement?
Oh, that's nasty.
My dog poops on the pavement. Why can't I? Okay. Maybe I'm asleep when I'm doing it. You ever think about that? Maybe I'm a poop-nomiac.
Ew.
I don't know. I'm asleep. Can you imagine that? You just get up and you poop, but you're asleep.
No.
I think it would be a good disease to do. I think it would be a good defense in court, too. You know?
No.
Do you think?
I don't like it.
You're making a face.
I know. It's
Okay.
nasty.
Let's talk about, hey, I'll tell you what, let's take a commercial break. And then let's talk about this grouchy kid who shot his family because he didn't want to go to school.
I know.
Is that wrong?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Remnant Resistant. Welcome to the Remnant Resistant. Resisting and fighting the enemies of God.
You're listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network.
What? Facebook. And KAPOW stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Your hosts Paul and Linda broadcast every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. But you can hear all the shows on archive anytime or as an iTunes download. Our topics include the paranormal, the supernatural, and spiritual warfare. The KAPOW radio show is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks, music, and teaching materials. Visit fifthookmedia.com to see our ebooks about spiritual warfare. That's FIFTHOOK media.com. Keep up the good fight. We are glad you joined the resistance.
Okay, we are back. Okay, check this out. I hated getting up for school when I was a teenager. I hated it. You know what my dad used to do to me?
He used to play drums in your room.
He did.
That's a horrible way to wake up.
That was terrible what he did to me.
Yeah, I don't like that.
As a teenager, I had drums in my room. And, a full set of drums. And I would not get up to go. I can't tell you the sleep demons that were on me, man. But I did not want to get up. I think it had something to do with me staying up all night. As a kid, I would just stay up all night and play guitar and write music and, just weird,
so
weird
when
kid stuff.
morning came up, I didn't want to wake up.
That was the last place I wanted to go to was that Prison Planet.
Yep.
So my dad would get on my drums and... by the way, he wasn't a drummer. He was a guitarist.
He's just making noise.
And he would just start pounding. And it worked. It worked. Whereas my mom would come in about 12 times. I didn't get up. But my dad, he knew how to do it. That was funny. Okay, but I never thought...
You didn't think it was funny then.
No, but I never thought I would shoot him or kill him.
Oh,
for that.
good night. No, that wasn't even a thing that would cross your mind.
No. Well, this happened in Nashville.
Oh, dear Lord.
It was an argument about getting out of bed, led a teenager boy to open fire on 3 family members. This was last Tuesday, including his grandma and 2 young children. It was at about 7:17 a.m. in the morning that cops responded to an active shooter. They shut down a bunch of roads and stuff. And what they find out is there was a quarrel about getting up and getting ready for the day when at some point the 16-year-old demon-controlled kid ran to a closet. By the way, the family didn't know that he had a gun in there. So where did he get this gun? Who knows?
Exactly.
He gets a 9mm handgun and he starts firing. This is amazing no one got killed. Mm-hmm. Bullet struck the teen's 67-year-old grandmother twice. He shot his Meemaw. His Meemaw.
I know.
How do you shoot your Nana?
Oh,
how do you shoot your Nana? Maybe he was asleep.
There you go.
His 12-year-old sister and 6-year-old nephew were struck at least once. The teen's nephew is his older sister's son. Okay, I'm thinking squirrel sandwich here. I'm seeing trailer park. I'm seeing squirrel on the oven. I'm seeing a bad dental plan. I don't know.
But that still does not.
No, it doesn't justify
make it right.
No, I'm seeing Nashville. I'm seeing Hemet. The victim's wounds are not life-threatening. This is unbelievable that they didn't get killed. But the teen, whose name was not released, of course, he also attempted to shoot his 42-year-old mama in the living room.
Yep.
I'll shoot you right in the living room. She says, you mean the shoulder? No, in the living room. Get it? Mumford said, this is the police guy, the woman ducked behind a couch to avoid being hit, and the boy's 2-year-old sister was not shot at.
Thank God.
The kid then fled. He tossed the gun at a nearby apartment. Several schools were placed on lockdown because of this. The police eventually recovered the handgun, captured the kid walking down in the area. He faces 5 counts of aggravated assault.
Wow.
And, of course, the family says, we didn't even know he had a gun. It's unbelievable no one died on there. All right? So that's what happens.
Now, can you imagine having him live in the house again?
I know.
I wouldn't want to live with this kid.
No. And he's only 16. Where's he going to go?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have to release him back to his parents. I know. You talk about locking your door. You know, what do you do?
Yep.
You know?
You do.
Okay. How about this Allah character that tells people to cut their heads off?
Yeah.
Is that unbelievable?
Now, I don't know how many people have actually gone to our Facebook and actually seen the picture of this woman.
Mm-hmm. She's creepy.
But she is definitely creepy.
Her picture, her face isn't like scary. It's that little smirk. There's something in her eyes that it's just creepy. It's like it makes your hair stand up. You know,
Yes, it does.
Yeah, this is in Russia. Allah ordered child beheading, the nanny says, at a Moscow court. What did I say, Moscow? Moscow, Russia. That's like Mezcal tequila or something. Mm-hmm. Better start learning to speak Russian, I'm telling you, because they're coming.
The only Russian word I know is Putin.
That is a Russian word. I know Vladimir.
Putin in the Ritz. Get it?
I get Putin in the Ritz. That'd make a good rap song. Got to work on that.
But I'm not a rapper.
No.
Although I do have a rap song
Oh, yeah, you do.
of my own.
Yeah, you do. You did a very good job on it. I wish there was a video to go with that. Okay, a nanny. She was a nanny. She's accused of decapitating a young girl in her care.
Now, wasn't this young girl, this little baby, didn't she have health issues?
Yes.
Epilepsy or something like that?
Yes, she had health issues. I think she had some mental retardation, too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
This nanny was taking care of her. She cut her head off, the little girl's head off, and then she walked through the street brandishing the head. See, that's a special kind of crazy. It's crazy to chop the head off of a little girl.
But then to actually take it and then parade it around.
Yeah. Now you've entered into the Twilight Zone crazy.
And she did it for quite a while, what, 20 minutes or something?
Yes.
Ew.
She said, quote, Allah ordered the killing.
Of course, blame it on him.
She told the court, yeah, blame it on Allah. Everybody blames Allah. Oh, my Lord. What did Allah have to do with this? Maybe she was a killed-nomiac. Maybe she suffered from murder-nomia.
Maybe.
This is her name. You got to help me with her name. It's not glycogen.
I like her last name better.
I love her last name.
Bobokulova.
Bobokulova. My name is Bobokulova.
Sounds like baklava.
Her first name is Gulchekra Bobolova. I love Bobolova. What a great name.
Bobokulova.
Oh, Bobokulova. That's even better. Excuse me, sir. I'll have some Bobokulova. Shaken, not stirred.
See, you're thinking drink. I'm thinking food like cake.
You think Bobokulova could be a cake?
Sure.
I'm thinking a dance. I'm thinking a Latin American kind of a salsa kind of a dance. I do the Bobokulova.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I like cake better.
Yeah, okay. Well, she's from the Muslim majority Uzbekistan.
There's a Z in there.
Uzbekistan.
Ooh.
See, I'm not going to
sounds like bestiality or something.
I'm not going to do well when the Russians take over. The press have dubbed this nanny the Bloody Nanny. She was detained on Monday as she was waving the child's severed head outside a metro station in northwestern Moscow. She was sent for psychiatric examinations, you think? She said it was what Allah ordered. She's only 38 years old.
Wow.
She told journalists as she was brought into the district court to have her arrest confirmed. With shoulder-length black hair, and she does look creepy, dude, because it's like parted in the middle. She just has this weird face about her.
Yeah, her eyes. If you look in her eyes, it just
With shoulder-length black hair parted in the middle, she wore a royal blue pinafore over a black tracksuit top. I don't know what the hell that means. At times, she smiled. Other times, she grimaced, flashing a few golden teeth. So picture this gal. Yeah.
Lovely.
So she looks like the guy from the James Bond movie, right? You know, the gold
with
teeth.
the silver tooth.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she's got this head, this kid's head, and she's walking around the station. Speaking in broken Russian from the suspect's cage, Bubukolova said, Allah is sending a second prophet to give news of peace. And this is how he's how he heralds it by cutting off the head of a little girl. She also complained she was hungry and she had not been fed and she would die in a week.
Alrighty then.
She also said hi to everyone. And guess what? She's the mother of 3 children herself.
Oh, dear Lord.
But she waved at everybody, at the crowd of journalists in the courtroom.
Oh, she's friendly.
Oh, my goodness. So they're still investigating this. They don't know what the heck she is. State news agency reported that she had recently been brainwashed by her Tajik lover, who was apparently a radical Muslim. So I don't know. That's pretty heavy-duty brainwashing, even for a Muslim. Mm-hmm. Crazy. See? Crazy's everywhere. Let's play the clip of this little girl here.
All right.
Also tonight, 3 middle schoolers face felony charges accused of using hot pepper to spike their teacher's soda while in class. As West 2's Matt Grant reports, all of the suspects are 12-year-old girls.
3 Deltona middle schoolers are facing felony charges accused of spiking their teacher's soda. The girls, all aged 12, remain locked up in juvenile detention. Tuesday, 2 of the girls poured crushed red pepper flakes into their teacher's drink, while another distracted her. The teacher, 52-year-old Jane Morgan, suffered a sore throat, stomach pains, and shortness of breath. Investigators say this was done in retaliation after Morgan sent one of the girls to the principal's office Monday for dumping glue into another student's backpack and for suspicion of stealing a laptop.
It's a terrible thing. I don't understand why kids have lost all respect.
Morgan's neighbor, Mark Howard, says the girls should be held accountable.
They got to be held responsible for their actions, or they're never going to stop.
One of the girls told investigators an original plan was to vandalize Morgan's car with paint. The 3 juveniles were arrested, charged with poisoning and tampering. Morgan tells West 2, I want them to have consequences that teach them a lesson. I did not want them to be arrested and to go to jail. Teachers are out there doing the best we can for students. I love my students. They broke my heart. My career won't be the same. Matt Grant, West 2 News.
Can you believe that? I mean, what is going on today?
I know. It's horrible.
With these youths. I know. It's nuts.
It's like the evil is spreading out more and more, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, just stuff that's unheard of.
Because stuff like that, when we were growing up, that would have made major headlines.
Oh, gosh.
And that would be like, oh, so shocking. But now there's so much violence that it's not shocking to the system anymore. That's what scares me.
Yeah, this is just like a little blurb from... Yeah, Orlando, Florida.
I remember as a little girl, and when you'd watch those movies and you see a man and woman kiss, not like they do now on TV and movies, but a little peck or whatever. Yeah. I remember closing my eyes, like, oh yeah, that's so gross. You know what I mean? But they put so much violence and so much sexual innuendos and sex on available to us through TV and whatnot that it's just natural now.
Yeah. They're like these little girls, 12-year-old girls. Where did they get this idea? Where did they get this stuff from?
Yeah.
TV. I mean, just to think about doing something like that.
I know it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It really boggles my mind.
It boggles.
It boggles.
Well, maybe they were asleep. That's a good defense.
It's lame.
Do you know that there's booms happening in Missouri?
There's a lot of booms happening all around the world.
And in this particular article, I couldn't find another article for it, but apparently it's happening, and I forget where at in California. California. Somebody had said that's happening in their neighborhood also.
Really?
Same kind of stuff. There's weird, strange sounds happening everywhere. This is the cause of recurring booms remains a mystery. This is from Grundy County, Missouri. Grundy County. That's just fun to say.
Yeah.
Unexplained loud booms have been affecting residents around Grundy County for weeks.
Wow.
And the cause is yet to be determined. So once again, it's kind of like those sky trumpets and those weird sounds. Well, I wish I had the answer.
Yeah.
You just don't know what this is. I mean, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
See, these mystery booms are also in Pennsylvania and what is that other place? I can't think of the name of it. Singapore.
Mm.
Yeah, all different places.
It's global.
Mm-hmm.
These are mystery booms where they can't figure out what's going on. Well, this is a quote. They said, "It's weird because it's unlike most booming noises you hear." This was from the emergency manager at Grundy County. "If you hear a car crash or something like that, you could pretty well tell which direction it came from. When I heard it, I couldn't identify which direction it came from. It resembled thunder, but there were no thunderstorms in the area. The residents began reporting their experiences of these booms after they heard it for the first time February 14th. That's when it started. So, I mean, a lot of times I think it's like meteor activity.
Yeah.
In the skies and blowing up. But why did it start? And then it's still going on for 2 weeks, but only hearing it in this county. Wouldn't you hear it all over the place? Like all over the state?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense.
No.
This person said, "I instantly made a post on our emergency management Facebook page and asked if anyone else heard it. We had close to 100 people comment saying they heard it. Several people said they felt it. Wow. They described a loud thud, rattling. Some saw flashes of light and smoke." Isn't that weird?
That is weird. It's almost like the noise has so much vibration that it actually shakes the earth.
Yes.
It's like the angels are walking.
What would be the flashes of smoke and light? What would that be?
The angels touching down.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe the angels are touching down and they're asleep and they don't know it. Angelnomia.
I'd be careful if I were you.
Well, the police arrived in a matter of minutes to the area where residents were affected but didn't find anything out of the ordinary. No one lost power, so they ruled out a transformer explosion. That particular one was heard as far as 5 to 7 miles away. Whatever it was very loud, but we were never able to identify the source. So Briggs, the emergency manager, has been working on the mystery ever since. He's created a spreadsheet of the sound's potential origin, which falls into one or two categories. And I like this. He says, there's a handful of evidence that says this has to be man-made. Yet, he hedges his bets, and he says, but there's also a handful of evidence that says, no, it's got to be natural.
Well, what is it then?
It's either man-made or it's natural. Wow! And this guy did a spreadsheet to figure that out. That's pretty good. But we don't have enough evidence either way to say if this is an earthquake or if this is someone blowing something up. Briggs says those in the Geological Sciences and Engineering Department of Missouri University of Science and Technology, that sounds pretty impressive, have supplied their expertise to help officials find the source. And they're investigating whether the noise could be tied to groundwater, fracking fluid, or the shifting of tectonic plates. Yes, it's very interesting. But they don't know where it's coming from. Also, the timing of the noises, it varies. Someday it's a weekday, someday it's weekends, 4 p.m., 1 a.m. The noises, they occur at random. So they can't really
pinpoint a time.
Yeah. So anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, they're kind of scared, and they don't know what's going on. It's still going on. They're still reporting it, and no help in sight. What is it? What is it, Miss Kapow?
I don't know.
Well, let's just leave with that note of solemn questioning.
All
All right? All right.
Ciao, babies.
The earth is breaking, breaking, crumbling, crumbling. The earth is tottering, tottering, soaring, soaring. Like a drunk man, falling, falling. Crashing to the ground like a dead man. Lying, lying, running on the ground. Earth is breaking. The earth is breaking, breaking, crumbling, crumbling. The earth is tottering, tottering, soaring, soaring. Like a drunk man, falling, falling. Crashing to the ground like a dead man. Lying.